Happy today.
Happy today.
Nice. Is it a happy today? I don't know if it is though.
It is. I mean, corn's pumping 2,500 in like 15 minutes. So
are we on the pump?
That's what the show is going to be about today.
Oh, we're on the pump.
That's the title of the.
Right.
Yeah, that's the title of today's show. Was 109 the top? TLDR? No.
Some people don't even know what TLDR is. You know, there's some people going around this world.
Yeah, let's explain that. Too long didn't read. This is the problem with America these days. Most people, they hit the TLDR and don't read the article. Now AI does that, right? Yahoo's added it into their, like there's an AI bot. It doesn't work correctly, Yahoo. Just so you know, your articles don't scroll correctly after you've added that AI feature. So now I don't read Yahoo articles anymore because of your bug.
Because it's
just a heads up.
Kind of a messed deal.
Yeah.
Well, an exciting week.
And proving my point, not
in the markets there, Gerald. How much blood do you have left, if any?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, so we've seen crypto markets take a hit. We've seen equities take a hit. So it definitely was not pretty. But again, the title of the show was 109 the top. Before we get into it, I do want to thank our sponsors because I know Nick's going to step in a second and remind me if I don't.
I was going to do. Let's say how long it was going to take. We're only like 90 seconds in.
Yeah, your mic's a little low, just FYI.
Oh, there. How's that here?
So our sponsors are Quantum Expeditions, Quantum Economics, Shield Folio, and Deorganized Media. I want to thank everyone at the team of Bitcoin Live as well, and all the other people that have shows. Check in and tune in if you're a crypto non or a crypto geekazoid. There's plenty of content from stacks to Bitcoin and everything in between. There's a show for you, but definitely there's the Shield Folio ad. There is a QR code for a little discount if you are interested. It helps protect your seed phrases, and it's very handy from prying eyes because that's how things get lost. It's all about the data and information, and there's that code right there. So let's get into it. The TLDR is 109 the top. No, I don't think it is. If we go to, let me pull up Bitcoin's, I think I got Bitcoin's hash rate chart. I just had it pulled up. Let me share that right at the moment. Come on, computer. Really? Give me a sec.
It's early in the morning here on the West Coast of the USA. Sometimes the computers are a little slow. They got to heat up, you know, the circuits.
Yeah, they got to get their coffee.
Not the
kombucha. There we go. So if we take a look at the hash rate chart, this is a 1 month hash rate chart from Coin Wars. I've always used Coin Wars. Some people use some other platforms that track hash power. But Coin Wars has been around for many years now, and that's the one I've been using. But as you can see right back just a few days ago, I think yesterday, where am I at? Give me a sec, sorry. Yeah, just right here, we hit almost a zettahash again just on the February 28th.
Getting there.
So, I mean, all signs point to, you know, the network is healthy, right? The lowest we can see is like right in here. It went to like 665. That's still a ton of power to run the network. But that was looks like the lowest point it's gone in the last couple of weeks, but it's recovered quite quickly. If we zoom out to a 6 month chart, you can see we have, you know, this pattern forming right here. You can see, and this is a signal to me that the miners are not going offline like they normally do in these bull and bear cycles where we see a huge downward trend of hashing power going to the downside. We're not seeing that. I'm seeing, like I said, this huge pattern forming, and it looks like we're about to go, like I said about maybe a month ago, we're about to be in the zettahash range permanently in the next like 6 months or so.
What does that mean for miners, Gerald?
So it means obviously difficulty is going to keep going up, gradually going up every time Bitcoin makes an adjustment, and it's going to be harder to mine. This also, pushes me into why I'm becoming a very big Litecoin maxi, because as these miners, these smaller farms become unprofitable because the difficulty keeps going up, they're going to switch to Litecoin, and that's what we've been continually seeing over the last couple of quarters, and we can see that with a Litecoin hash rate chart. Like I think I have one pulled up.
I'm gonna start mining Bitcoin Cash. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set up a new Bitcoin Cash rig. Start mining that Bitcoin.
Yeah. I go as your unofficial legal
it's gonna be
advisor,
great. It's gonna be great.
Don't advise.
And it's gonna be awesome.
But yeah, look at like Litecoin's hash rate is super solid, and the same thing. It just hit a couple of new all-time highs right here. It looks like it just did it a few weeks ago. We can just scroll down and double check that math real fast. So it does still look like the all-time was January 26th at 2.54. But if we zoom back up there, it does look like it was pretty close on February 17th or so. Yeah. Right. It looks like 2.51. So it was really close. And you can see if we zoom out, it's like a 6-month Litecoin hash rate chart. Same thing. We see a very similar pattern. And if we pull up the Bitcoin price chart, let me pull up that. BTC USD. And what's funny is I just saw a huge green candle wick form on the Bitcoin dominance chart. And as soon as I switched over to the Bitcoin dominance chart, this is what I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we see another flag forming right here, right? So it looks like it is going to go higher. And clearly this is retail buying up what the institutionals have been dumping. And that's what everyone's been wondering, like, what's going on? Like, why is Bitcoin going down? So I haven't bought Minute, but I did today, and I will pull that up right now. And as you can see by the inflows, the ETFs have been selling. So you can see with the 1 day.
Oh yeah, we had that record outflow of like almost $1 billion just this week.
Yeah. So I mean, IBIT holders sold about almost what is that? Almost 10,600 Bitcoin. And you can just look down the list for 7 day. There's easily, what's that? 11,000, let's do 11,000, 14,000, 16,000, 18,000,
so let me just stop you right there, man. Let me just ask you a question. In your opinion, okay, so we saw a massive amount, a record outflow, almost $1 billion. Okay, who in the F is selling right now? Who are these have to be uneducated, lettuce hand individuals who don't know jack about Bitcoin. And they're like, oh my gosh, the price is going down. Sell my ETF. They're calling up their broker. They're calling up, Fidelity. They're calling up BlackRock. Hey, Larry, man, I'm freaking out, man. The price has gone down 25%. Sell. Is that? I mean, who in the fuck? I'm sorry, but who in the fuck is selling? Why are you selling?
Yeah. So clearly by this picture right here. Yeah. Clearly by this picture right here. We can see it is the ETF holders that are selling the most at currently, and they don't know what they're doing. And obviously, tax season is right around the corner, so it's probably some people getting ready for tax season. I
think that's
spring
already.
break,
I think we've already seen the tax harvesting pretty much. I think that kind of in my. That's just me though. I mean, I think a lot of that happens in January.
Yeah, I mean, you could be correct, but I think we have a little bit of that happening. I think, again, we have these new people that have bought the ETF. If they bought the ETF last year in January, when we're the only show that almost called the day of the ETF launch, by the way, let's point that out. If you had bought on day one and bought $1 million worth, I mean, you did very well in less than 365 days. So again,
do you think it's people who do not know what they own? They do not understand the asset class, and they are more of a traditional finance mind, and they see these kinds of downturns and they freak out and they panic sell. Is that kind of what you think is from your estimation?
I think we're seeing probably a split of 80-20, where 80% is people panic selling, and 20% is people taking profit because they've gone past the 365-day holding period for short-term cap gains, right? And if they're at day 366, now they're at long-term cap gains. So that cuts that right in half. So again, I think it is some people taking some profit because, again, if you bought in January, we're already up to March. You've made a lot of money. You've saved, right, on 15% roughly by waiting these extra 2 months. And if you're seeing Bitcoin do this, that's some of the panic selling. And again, if you bought when Bitcoin launched, you were buying in the 40K range ETF. And now Bitcoin is clearly 90K again, or 88 and some change, 89, whatever. But all signs point to that Bitcoin network is very healthy. So I don't think 109 is the top, but something's going on because this is retail, right? This is a Sunday pump. This is not institutional buyers. So I was talking with Paul the other day because he was picking my brain about, the markets, just like we're doing right now. And he's like, what do you think's going on? I said, if we don't see a pump in the next 2 weeks or so, there's something going on with the ETF. And it's one of two things that I came up with as these are me speculating. Either Coinbase is preparing specialists for the ETFs that are like, this is how you go to the OTC disk. This is how you buy the Bitcoin. This is where, here's your cold storage, right? They're training people how to do this. And there's this big, delay in them training these specialists how to run their own ETF because they appealed that, right? They repealed SAB 121, and they're also going to let the banks hold and the ETFs hold their own spot Bitcoin. So that's one theory. The other theory is Coinbase is doing something shady, right? With the ETF.
I wouldn't go so far as to say it's Coinbase. And this is something that we're going to get into tomorrow on our Quantum Expeditions Monday Night Bitcoin space. Who or what is suppressing the price of Bitcoin? Is it being suppressed? I've been in this conversation looking at it for about almost 2 weeks. I've done some analysis. I do think that there is a way that actually it would be the Fed, and it's through futures, and it's through OTC, and it's through exchanges. But again, I think the one thing that I would go back to all the way to 2017, and those folks who are kind of new in the space might not have been here in 2017, and they're like, I got it in 2020, great. Way back then in 2017, a guy named Leo Melmart, I believe is how you say his last name, Leo was the head of the CME at the time, and that was right when they were launching Bitcoin futures, and he said, quote, in the article, we will tame Bitcoin. Now, I looked up tame. It's a synonym. It means to control, to manipulate, to exert force over. So you're telling me that Uncle Leo way back in 2017 said, guess what? We are going to manipulate Bitcoin. He came out and fucking told you. And if you don't think that the price is being manipulated right now so that they can stock this up in their sovereign wealth funds and their strategic Bitcoin reserves and front run every government, you're fucking crazy. I'm sorry. I'm a little hot this morning. I'm dropping F-bombs. I need a Xanax.
No, that's fine. Again, there you can clearly see by, let's pull up that coin glass again.
Is that decaf? I need decaf. Give me some decaf. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, if you look at this, I mean, you can clearly see it is the ETF is dumping on this, right? I roughly calculated like 20 some thousand Bitcoin have been sold of the ETF in the last 7 days. So I mean, BlackRock has sat on that position for a long, long time. Only a few outflows here and there. This is a big outflow. So clearly the ETF is affecting the price. But as of today, we can see retail is scooping it up, and we're heading
has Taylor
right
put out a
back
chart yet
towards.
today? He usually does it on Sundays. He puts out his dot plot chart, let everybody know he's telegraphing his buys.
Oh, I didn't check.
It wouldn't be a Sunday without a Sailor dot plot chart.
Sailor. Yeah, I got you. The
Sailor always puts out that on the Sunday.
MicroStrat buying chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you find it, pull it up. Let's see what I got here. What else?
And the other thing about BlackRock, really quick, this week that I thought was really, really big news was they are finally going to incorporate their own Bitcoin ETF into their $150 billion model that they use. This is the first time ever. And so they've put this Bitcoin ETF into their model with an allocation, again, of what you and I have heard for years of 1% to 2% for risk-adjusted portfolios that are long-term, that have that kind of risk profile. But this is huge for BlackRock to now take their IBIT ETF and then put this into a $150 billion economic model moving forward. Oh, friend, this has never been done before.
Yeah, this is huge. And the news across the globe is very clear. I think a lot of this is globally is posturing, right? I don't care what country you're from. If you have a leader that actually has a functioning brain, any type of serious global calamity would destroy the global markets, right? So that wouldn't happen. Just the use of one of these types of weapons would take out everyone's economy, right? Like, hello. So, let's be clear, no one wants that. This is all posturing because Bitcoin's about to become the weapon of the future, and everyone's going to get all huffy and puffy before this happens because they don't want it to happen, right? There's a whole bunch of countries that clearly are stating we like Bitcoin, and there's a few that do, but there's a lot that don't. China does not want us to have, right? That was my theory from, I think, 2 episodes ago, right? That China is really scared shitless that the United States will have a digital asset reserve. And perfect segue into the big news of the day. And that's what it was. The president, I thought I had the tab.
Trump directing a working group to move forward on Solana XRP and ADA crypto strategic reserves.
Yeah, so this is another prediction that we kind of hinted at. We're saying that these cryptos would eventually get ETFs. I don't know about ADA, maybe eventually, but XRP, Solana, I think those two, after Litecoin gets an ETF, and that's the other thing. All of these things have to have ETF and futures.
Yes, exactly.
Before I think they will.
Exactly. And futures is always the first thing that happens. You'll see futures first. They did this with Bitcoin. They've done this throughout the history of any asset class. And so we saw already futures being listed for some of these for Solana, as a matter of fact. Solana futures were just listed. CME is doing that. That was just big news this week. So again, when you see the futures, that's a really good sign that the actual spot is on the way. So yeah, to your point, Gerald.
Correct. And LTC futures, Coinbase released like I think it was like 6 months ago. And there's been other exchanges that have LTC perpetuals as well. So that's usually the first thing you want to see. You want to see futures for these products. Then you want to see the ETF for these products. And then, yes, I do see, the United States, if Litecoin has an ETF pass, yes, I do see Litecoin going into a reserve, Bitcoin going into reserve, potentially XRP and Solana if they do get ETFs passed. I mean, you know me, I'm not a huge fan of Solana because of its network issues, but it is Like when it works, it's great. When it's broken, not so much. And speaking about broken cryptos, I hate to be
who are you gonna rag on now,
beat a
Gerald?
dead
Who
horse.
you gonna rag on now?
Yeah, of course I'm gonna rag on Ethereum. Sorry, Vitalik coin. I used to be a big fanboy, Vitalik. Until
friends with the
I
ETH
saw the light. And sorry, ETH Denver. Hate to poop on your parade.
I don't think they'll mind, Gerald.
Yeah. Here's exactly why Ethereum sucks.
Oh, so hold on. Let me fill my cup for this one.
Yeah, go ahead. So I have this is one of my wallets, and I'm gonna let you peer into some of my S-Coin holdings. Here's one of my, I don't know, over 6 or 7 Ethereum wallets. This one actually has some assets in it. Okay, you can see at the top right there, it's like almost $500 in there.
If you say so. It's kind of blurry. Looks like it's
yeah, that's fine. I like that it's a little blurry for security reasons.
Good OPSEC.
Anyway,
handle
that. If you look at this top one, this is called Teller Tributes. I had this position. I bought it like in 2019 or something like that. Okay, it won't focus. I like that it won't focus. But literally, I've got like 5 and some change tokens, 5.69 tokens.
Say so.
Okay, if you say so. And right now on Uniswap, it has arbitrage. It's literally like $58 and some change a token. So I open up my wallet. By the way, this wasn't in my wallet for almost 2 years. So for 2020, 4 years, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, this doesn't appear. It's not even there because something happened with the contract. So the other day, I open up my wallet. Oh my gosh, there are my Teller tokens, 5.69 Teller tokens, and it's worth almost $400, right? $330.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll send. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use Uniswap and I'll just swap it to Ethereum. Or you know what? No, I'll swap it to USDC right in this wallet.
Not gonna happen.
So literally, as you can see, I tried doing that. Let me see. I don't know how many times. You see how many failures?
Yeah, sure.
Failure. Yeah. So then I go, okay, I'll just try and convert it back just to the base asset, because hot tip, if you're doing any DeFi, don't ever try and convert the token, that the S coin that you had, into something weird, right? You want to do it to like Tether, USDC, or whatever the base token is. So I'm like, okay, I'll try and convert it to Ethereum. Same thing. Doesn't happen. Then I go, okay, I'll just send that 5.6 tokens to crypto.com. And I go on crypto.com and it's like $30 a token. I'm like, oh. So it's like, do you see how much I'm going to lose in slippage? I'm like, great, awesome. I'm going to lose like $100 in slippage. And I'm like, you know what? It's $200 I didn't have yesterday. I'll just send it there, whatever. I try and send it. Nope, won't work. Broken. F you, Vitalik coin.
Wow. We're getting hot. We're getting hot this morning.
Sucks.
We're like at the bottom of the hour.
But yeah.
It's past 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday on the West Coast of the USA.
And just so anybody watching, wallet has been updated. Everything's fine. I literally posted up a couple of NFTs from that wallet to OpenSea like not even a week or 2 ago. So it still works. Okay. So just showing you why Vitalik coin sucks.
Spicy comments on an early Sunday morning. I love it.
Done. Litecoin, done. Even Dogecoin,
spicy.
Done.
Spicy.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Proof of stake, proof of shit. Piece of shit. That's what it really stands for. POS. Sorry.
We're getting spicy. You're gonna get my account banned again, Gerald. You know what? Because of you, I can't live stream on some of my channels because too much spice.
Sorry.
Too much heat. Too much spice. Muy caliente. Good morning.
Oh, well.
DeFi Dictator. DeFi
GM.
Dictator is in the room. Thank you for streaming.
Yeah, again.
DeFi Dictator.
Yes, sorry if I pooped on your parade. But yeah,
you're really upsetting a lot of the folks in Denver right now at the ETH conference and around the world. Okay, really.
Sorry. This is one of the many reasons
friends,
I don't
Gerald.
like ETH. I find a position. I'm like, yay! There's an old position. Oh no, it's still broken and a piece of shit. Shocker. But thank you so much. Let's see. So what else do we have in the mix? Oh yeah. So the Donald Trump story, we got over that. And let's see, I did have some other interesting
hot takes
things
from the Oracle. Hot, spicy, controversial takes from the Oracle that'll end up getting your account banned.
Here's a good one. So just proving you should hold some Bitcoin and Litecoin because paper money is total BS. See over here. Citigroup, third largest bank, accidentally sent a customer $81 trillion instead of $280. Yeah. So proving the dollar is the biggest scam. Yeah, there's your biggest shitcoin in the whole world. It's called the dollar.
So let me ask you this: what happens? Okay, so you're the person. You open up your phone just like you showed us there, and all of a sudden you see, oh my gosh, 81, what is it, $81 trillion in your account?
There's nothing you could do. It's flagged. As soon as it comes into your account's flagged, right? Right. Like literally, they send you that money and they don't even know, but they flag themselves as the bank. They flag themselves for sending you that, and they prove that the dollar is fake, right? Because they can just $81 trillion. Wait, isn't that more like almost like 2.5x our debt?
Some intern over there, intern hit the zero button too many times and like, oops, my bad. I'm an intern. I didn't know what I did.
Yeah. Oopsies.
Man.
My bad, bro. This happened actually to somebody else. Obviously, it wasn't 81 trillion, but it happened to another customer. I think it might have been a Citigroup customer where it was only a couple millions, and that person did spend some, and there was this actual glitch in proving that the dollar is a proof of stake shitcoin. There was a glitch. I don't know if it was Citibank or US Bank with one of their credit cards, and if you went in and to their ATMs and process a certain way, it would just kick out free money, and people were doing it. It was called the ATM money glitch, and now all these people, the FBI is showing up to their house and they're surprised. But yes, this is why we need proof of work. Proof of work. And yeah, most politicians don't know shit about crypto. Let's be very clear. DeFi.
Is there? I think maybe Senator Cynthia Lummis might have an understanding of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Senator Lummis understands Bitcoin, but most of these people, it's a talking point, right? It's a talking point, and it's on their radar, and they know that it drives attention traffic towards them, right? So they'll say Bitcoin or crypto or whatever. When it comes down to brass tacks, the only people in politics that really understand what's going on with Bitcoin and other is Senator Lummis, Ramaswamy, because I know he's running for governor of Ohio or something like that. There's probably in the real actual political arena maybe 10 people that understand what this stuff is and how important it is and how it works and what it does. Maybe 20, but the majority of these people, it's a talking point, and they know that it's a voter issue now, right? Because if you really take a step back, Van Jones pointed this out on CNN, and there's a couple other political analysts that pointed out, you guys discredited the crypto vote, and it lost you the election. And this is very true. Donald Trump saw that orange flag and he started waving it, and then he went to the conference, and that was what pushed him over the top. Most people don't talk about that in the mainstream media, but that's what happened. Right? Let's be very clear. I hope Trump works closely with.
Yeah, I don't think he will. I think he's all about working with the people that are going to help make him the most money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what we've seen so far, right? With Trump coin.
You got to know that the guy is a grifter. I mean, he's open about it. He's pretty honest about it. He's a grifter. He's going to grift. And if you know that, it's kind of like going, wow, that's a rattlesnake, and rattlesnakes are dangerous and poisonous. I mean, some people still like to handle them, and they do crazy church services with them. But is it smart?
Oh, yeah.
No, but at least you know it's a rattlesnake. Unlike some snakes that try to pretend, oh, look at me, I'm docile, I'm not really poisonous. And you pick it up, bam, oh, shit, and then you fucking get bitten, you're poisoned, and you die. You picked up a poisonous snake. You didn't know it was a poisonous snake, but at least Trump lets you know he's a poisonous fucking snake.
Yeah, no, I would concur on that point. That you're getting a dash of crazy with the orange one. So yeah, don't tread on me, don't step on me. I don't think that he's the reason the market is in shambles right now. I think you have to realize that the markets were heading, equities have been heading this way for a long time. The reason why, they're pumping right now. Yeah, that was all due to that tweet this morning, but also the Bitcoin markets, retail is buying, right? Like that won't happen unless, it does look like that is the direction we're heading, around 120, 130.
Wow.
But
bringing my Solana bags back to life as we speak.
Yeah, everything's pumping again. This is awesome. I said I thought like March it was going to be the delay, and it seems like that's the case, because we did close on a pretty low note for February. I think it was like 82 or 81 or 80, somewhere in there. The majority of that downward pressure, as we could see from CoinGlass's chart, was from the ETF. And obviously, when people see red candles, it is a truly free market. People also are going to.
It's like a lot of people are just aping in on this Cardano, up almost 74% in the last 24 hours, coming off the heels of this.
Cardano's up 75%.
Well, 74, 73, almost 74% in the last 24 hours. Cardano.
That's crazy. Again, not a fan of Cardano because it's a Haskell. Just saying. Stick with Solana over Cardano, just please, or XRP. Obviously, I'm a Litecoin dorkazoid, so I'm gonna recommend.
I have a friend of mine. How did he put it? He goes, well, I'm not in the XRP army. I'm more like in the XRP National Guard or Coast Guard. I was like, well, I don't know what that means, but I guess maybe you're not full on. You're only like part-time. You're like only 2 weekends a month or 2 weeks a year. Like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm like in the XRP Coast Guard and the XRP National Guard. I thought it was funny though. I don't know what he meant.
No, I chuckled. I thought it was good. It was a good joke.
These early Sunday morning live streams, man, they just go right off the rails. So unprofessional.
But Nick was like, but Cardano's in the reserve.
Everybody's got a butt. Tell me about your big
all
butt.
The newbies right now. To all the newbies right now that are watching all these charts go nuts. Do not chase green candles, right? You should have been ready. You should have already had your bags packed, right? But yes, don't go chasing green candles, cause you'll get fucking wrecked every time.
Man. We need to get you some auto-tune in an AI program, bro.
Hey, dude, that was supposed to be bad. Come on. That was the point. But yeah, so clearly, let's pull up a Bitcoin price chart and check it out. Oh, is it going higher? It did. What do you know? Just like I said, a bull flag to 91. Boop, 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 share this tab. So there we are, back to 91.
You know, and here's the thing. I mean, I shared this tweet a while ago, and maybe Nick will pull it up because he's one of the best producers out there from the Bitcoin Live Network. But there was a clip from Tatiana Kaufman, and she works for Moon something, I forget, Moon Capital, Moon. Anyways, it's Moon something. I'm again, it's early on a Sunday morning here, and I'm riffing. But Tatiana Kaufman, way back in December, was talking markets and Bitcoin and whatnot, and they asked her thoughts moving forward into 2025 with the Trump administration and price for Bitcoin and her thoughts. And she said, get this quote. This was back in December, early part of December. She says, look, we're probably going to chop. We're going to range between about 80 to 100 and 110 right in there. And then, you know, some chop. And then she says after that, probably 500,000 to 1 million if we see an SBR. So go back and look at what Tatiana Kaufman said way back in December. She gave us this range. So everybody who was losing their lunch this past week, like, oh my gosh, the sky's falling. No, actually it's not. If you listen to smart people who know what they're talking about instead of somebody in their basement going, yeah, dude, buy the pump, right? Tatiana's really, really smart. She knows what she's talking about. And when she came out and said this, I was like,
yeah, I think I think that clip you're talking about was like on MSNBC,
Charles Schwab Network, I think, or like on the New York Stock Exchange. It was like on some other random network. It looked like a CNBC type of show, yes, but it was like, I want to say like on the.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I remember seeing that clip where she was like, yeah, we think 500K by the end of the year or something like that. And again, all signs point to Bitcoin's health is very strong. It's numbers, it's metrics, it's hash rate. Obviously, the price just went up like 6K in the last like 2 hours since we've been on the show.
I'm bullish though on a SBR happening this year, Gerald. I'm really starting to cool on that, and I'm becoming more contrarian and more bearish on it.
The episode, I think it was like a month or so ago that you weren't on. I think Nick, he was like, didn't co-host, but he chimed in a few times. We kind of both agreed that the states were going to lead on this issue first. And until we see,
and already though, we had two states already this week reject though, Montana and another one.
Yeah, Wyoming. And we mentioned Wyoming the last time, which I thought was bizarre, right? We were like, isn't Wyoming super pro corn? But yeah, we want to see that, you know, all of these, because I think it's like we're up to 31 or 32 states that Dennis Porter,
all that's well and good, and it looks great when you put out a map that's orange and it's a really cool meme and like, whoa, look at that. But you know what? Here's the thing: that shit doesn't count unless you get those bills across the finish line, man. We went through this the other week. I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill, and it's not a law until it gets passed. So that's great that we can have all this fervor and excitement and woo, woo, woo. We're doing all this stuff, but it doesn't. What does it do though? It doesn't do jack shit unless you make it a fucking law. God, I'm spicy on a Sunday, Gerald. You're getting me worked up. I'm all worked up.
No, that's cool. I love it when we that's extra
There's
spicy.
A Tatiana Kaufman clip. There you go.
Chipotle.
Roll it, Nick.
Nice. There it is. Yes.
Sideways action between 110 and downwards to 80, and we'll see some chop. The second scenario, and that will come either in the short term or in the medium term, is once we have the Bitcoin Act, which is currently under consideration, passed, where the U.S. government will be buying Bitcoin into its reserves, as well as other countries and other corporates for their treasury assets as well, we could see a 500K Bitcoin or $1 million Bitcoin. The sky is really the limit here.
And why? What would drive it there?
So Bitcoin is inherently a scarce asset. You only have 21 million Bitcoins. And the Bitcoin Act, for example, proposes buying 200,000 Bitcoins a year, which would significantly drive up the price as there's a finite supply.
And what about use cases? I was talking about this with a guest on a previous show on Trading 360, just in terms of, President Trump, President-elect Trump has talked about, the one rule of Bitcoin is you don't sell your Bitcoin. Yeah. But do you expect more people to actually start using it in terms of an actual currency?
For sure. So I don't think that Bitcoin is inherently the type of currency that you buy a cup of coffee with. There are places where people do that. So for example, El Salvador, which I've written about extensively, they use the Lightning Network for those types of smaller transactions, but you don't necessarily need it for that. That's not the prime use case. The prime use case of Bitcoin is a store of value. So when we think about money, there's usually three characteristics that people ascribe to money, the economists ascribe to money, and that is method of exchange, unit of account, and store of value. So there's thousands of methods of exchange around the world. Every currency around the world is a method of exchange. Unit of account, however, there's only a handful. There's the dollar, there's the euro, there's the yen, and now there's Bitcoin. But when you talk about store of value, none of those things are considered stores of value because of their inflationary properties. So if you're a high net worth individual living in the US, you're not storing your value in a case of cash. You're storing your value in buildings, in businesses, in sports teams, in gold, and now in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is that similar type of property. It's just digital, which makes it that much easier to move, to sell, to trade, to transfer it across borders. So it's basically it's property but improved.
Property but improved. Tatiana Kaufman right there, man. That was back in December, telling us all the range was going to be between 110 and 80. And exactly, well, we dipped maybe to 78. Oh my gosh. All right, be pedantic about it and go, well, we went below 80. Whatever. Eat a Snickers.
I mean, she totally nailed it, though. I mean, that was like spot on. She was like, it could go down to 80, chop sideways, chop for a little bit. Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah, Tatiana Kaufman, one of the best, man. Hat tip to her. If you're not following her on the X app, you're doing yourself a disfavor. Get her in your timeline, get her in your feed, get the edge you need. I'm telling you, she's one of the best.
I just pulled up the bubble map for the day. I think we're in alt season. Just a theory. Just a theory. But take a gander.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow.
But yeah, you were right. Cardano's like 63%. But yeah,
Pi token is a Ponzi scheme. Let's just be honest. Come on. The Pi token, that's a Ponzi scheme.
Oh yeah, I've told people that ask me over the last 4 or 5 years, what do you think?
Ponzi.
I tell people, don't touch it.
Nope.
But again,
did you see money, Elon on Joe Rogan?
Do what they want to do.
The new, oh man,
no,
they were talking about this whole meme coin thing, and he kind of sums up the same thing that we've said. He basically says, look, it's a casino, and if you think that you're going to go to the casino and win, you're stupid, right? Nobody goes to the casino thinking like I'm going to win millions of dollars, right? They don't. You're going to lose. Same type of mentality. That's kind of what he's saying with meme coins. It's a casino. You got to go in expecting you're going to lose. Don't do it. He basically came out and said, yeah, it's a casino. You shouldn't do it. But, if you want to, have fun.
Yeah, only professional gamblers and scammers go to casinos thinking they're going to win, right? And that's about it. It's about a 90-10 split, right? 90% of the people lose money. 10% win. So the same thing is true for the crypto.
The thing though, the thing that Rogan kind of pushed back on, Elon, was that at least with a casino, there isn't so much fuckery as like insider trading, like that we've seen a lot on these meme coins, where we see a lot of the KOLs, the insiders kind of, dumping on retail. So you have so there is a little bit of that difference between the meme coin casino and a typical casino. And so I think there needs to be, if we're going to continue in this meme there, oh gosh, Nick is so fucking good. The best Bitcoin Live, hit it.
Yeah, your mic was getting real soft.
Mine was
for a second. But yeah, play that clip.
And it's finally
Acer laptop.
Yeah.
There's an old unplugged laptop. You got to only plug it in. It's in a.
Elon. Oh,
that's okay.
No worries.
That's all right. It's a great interview. It's like 3 hours long, I think, right? I listened to it last night because I have insomnia.
He thought he had it pulled up to the right spot, but he didn't.
That's all right. That's all right. Dude, he's so good. He's on the fly back there making the show happen. He's pushing buttons. He's doing all kinds of stuff.
Go ahead.
Huh? What? What? Huh?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, he says he can't find it. No big deal. No biggie. No biggie. Nice try. Nice attempt. But yeah, so again, let's just go back to the bubble map then. If you could pull that back up.
The booble map
for me, Nick.
It's a booble.
Yeah, there we go. Again, if you think you're gonna, run into this and make a ton of money, you're not. But yes, it's not chicanery as much as people just don't understand what they're getting into, right? If you get into one of these, like, let's just use Portnoy as an example, right? He dropped I think it was like 200 and some K into one of these coins, and he put it into the wrong coin by accident. And I think it was like the wrong Libra or whatever. And he pumped that coin to like 3,000% because he dropped almost 300K on it. So again, I tell people, this is how people make tons of money in crypto, like by accident and on purpose. You find a coin that has low liquidity, and a small supply, you dump a couple 100K into it, and it's going to go like skyrocket. And then he made money and sold it, and all these people freaked out. It's like, no, that's how it works. You shouldn't be mad. That's your fault for trying to chase the green candle. I think Nick said he found the clip. Go right ahead, Nick.
Probably, I don't know.
Shoots up.
Yeah.
The whole meme coin thing is bananas.
Yeah.
It is so bananas that people dump real money into these coins, and then you could just pump them up and sell them.
A casino or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's totally gambling.
And people just do whatever the greater fool theory and musical chairs, and whoever's like the last to sit down loses type of thing. And
somehow or another, it's still legal. Like that's.
I mean, the thing is, I think not too many people. I mean, it's sort of like you go to the casino. Like if you expect to win at the casino, you're being a fool. Okay?
Right.
So I think if you expect to win at meme coins, you're being foolish. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not going to win at meme coins. It's like but if you want, like, don't sink your life savings into a meme coin.
No, but you can gamble a little, and you can ride waves and win a little and lose a little.
If you want to have some fun, and don't come, then play with meme coins.
But if you put your family's wealth
on a meme coin
in the Hawk Tua
at the risk
coin,
of saying something bold and outrageous, don't bet the farm on a meme coin.
The weird one is the pump and dumps. Like people
happen all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And people get shocked that somebody pump and dump. Like what?
I've made significant returns. I'll just point out one. I bought Dogecoin before it even came out of Elon's mouth. So that was a good year when Dogecoin hit 79 cents. Thank you, Elon. But yeah, you don't want to dump your life savings. My position in Doge, I think, was like maybe $1,000. But that $1,000 at sub a penny Doge, yes, it led to a nice position. So again, it's all about knowledge, right? Knowledge is power. And if you think you're going to throw 200K at one of those green bubbles and you're going to win, it's more highly probable today than it was yesterday. But it's not good to chase green candles, right? All of those green bubbles on that screen, you should have already had positions in those, right? Now they're up 20%. If you had let's just say $100,000 position in one of those green bubbles today, you just made 20K, right? So it's all about understanding the market, taking your time, right? Always start with Bitcoin, understand Bitcoin. I always talk a lot of smack on Ethereum. I just think Ethereum should be for fun stuff. I don't think Ethereum should be for bonds and financial products, like long-term financial products. I think that should be done on Bitcoin or Litecoin on a proof of work chain, right? Because it's immutable, right? And we've got the receipts, right? That's a famous saying the last couple of weeks. We got the receipts. You always have the receipts with Bitcoin. You always have the receipts with Litecoin. Any proof of work coin, you always have the receipts. And I think even going forward, you know, because real world assets is the next big thing. I think, you know, that's the same model, proof of work, right? I'm looking at Raven Coin, and anything else has a mining operation because it's important. It really, truly is. Hold on. I think you were trying to say something. Oh yeah, XRP. Again, there's things I like about XRP. There's things I don't like about XRP, right? Things I like, it's very fast, it's very cheap. Things I don't like, it did go down, right? It did go down like Solana a couple of weeks ago. I don't like that. So I don't like anything that has weaknesses like this, right? That's a huge weakness. Anything that can be shut down is a weakness, and I don't look for a long-term investment vehicle, because if it can break, then if you have $1 million and XRP breaks, then what do you have? You have nothing. You have zero. And on those days when Solana goes down, or even XRP or other chains, right? Cardano, it happens to Cardano. I have a problem with one of my Cardano wallets. It won't work. These are why I don't look at these things for long-term investment theses, because they have problems. And when I have problems with my money, it just ruins credibility. And when you ruin something's credibility, you ruins everything, unfortunately.
Well, friend, I've got to put a bookmark in the conversation for this week on our show. I'm at the top of the hour. I've got a hard out here today.
No worries. It's about that time anyway. Let's just wrap it up. I want to thank our sponsors at Quantum Economics, Quantum X Edition, Shield Folio, the folks at De-Organized Media. Oh, sorry, Paul. He just dropped in. Yeah, it's the hour, bro. And I want to thank my co-host, Maddie Satz, producer, Nick, and everyone at Bitcoin Live. Have a great one and enjoy the pump.